If you haven't heard, Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor distributes your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Road Up. I am Fernanndo and I am here to take you through the lifelong journey of comparing our childhood to our adulthood. What did we think adulthood would be like when we were children versus what it really is like now that we are adults? And as you all know, usually I'm either here by myself with you or I bring a friend and then we all share ideas on certain childhood concepts. Today, before I even go into today who I'm with, I'm sure you should know now with the title. But I just want to encourage you all to go on the show notes below right now and join the WhatsApp group. We have a link down there. Join the WhatsApp group. There you have access to the entire network and the community of the New and Bloom Production podcast network. And you'll get to directly answer certain questions, leave suggestions, and all those fun things, that we do. And while you're at it, subscribe to the show, whether it's on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, wherever it is that you listen to the show. Just subscribe so that you don't miss out on any new upload. So today I am going to talk to you about parenting, the challenges that we face as parents with disabilities. And to be with me or to take me through this conversation, I have someone that is 100% not a stranger to the show. He's 100% a part of the family. He is a musician. I'll throw in a philosopher, a fellow podcaster, a father, and an amazing and dear friend. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Melankolic. Hey!
Hi, how are you? Yo.
Huh?
I know.
How was that?
Bro. What are you, bro?
Huh?
You understand? You understand?
It's
I'm giving you
you.
a standing ovation right here, bro.
It's you. Hey, yeah, guys. That's my homie. That's my friend.
Yo.
They were not rich.
Bro. No, they were not ready. You need to be hearing that song, Barga Mambinela, that piano song. Abeko ready. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yeah. They're not ready, but we are here. How's it going?
Yo, man. You complain, you don't. You doomed if you do, you damned if you don't. It's,
right? Things don't
tomato,
change. Potato.
You understand? It's
Yeah.
that. So you just gotta keep juggling it. That's it.
Yeah. And I think that's one of those things where it's like, at this point, what can you say, Vel? Like, it is what it is. You are here.
Yeah.
And you just do your thing.
Yeah. You are winging it anyway.
Exactly.
I mean, no one gave you a chance anyway.
Yeah.
And no one is expecting you to do anything about anything.
No.
Or be anything.
No.
So,
So chill.
You might as well just sit down.
You must just chill
stay,
and do you,
stay
boo-boo.
in your lane. Yeah, that's the least you can do for yourself.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, because we get so caught up with a lot of things, bro. The whole disability, wara. What is disability in the first place?
You know what? How do you define it? Disability.
I don't define it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you reject the idea?
So I basically do what we've just spoken about now. I chill.
Mm.
So if people put me in a certain box, right, that means there are always gonna be loopholes. So you can decide whether you can keep taking from this box and then go on with your life. Keep taking from this box and you keep going with your program. You understand what I'm saying? That's it. You don't have to fight it. You don't have to hate it. You don't have to want to dissuade or what people would say educate people about disability. What is that?
Yeah.
Whatever people understand it to be, that is what it's always going to look like for them, and then that's what it's always gonna be for them. It's not gonna change. It's fine.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's so
if you
true.
don't get to queue because you're disabled, then it helps you. I mean, imagine we're going to Black Friday now, and you don't queue because you're disabled, right? And it's in disability month. Nobody wanna piss.
Nobody wanna. You don't wanna piss the blind guy in the queue like, ma'am.
Dude, you don't want to be that guy, right? That guy who's going to be fighting with, a bunch of misfits just on their month, let alone. You don't want to be that guy.
But I think that's the thing. Also, people do people even know? But you know what? This whole disability month awareness thing is a whole other conversation, I think. Because, like, just even give clarity. Is it December, ne? December is Disability Awareness Month. It is December, right?
No, it's not. It's 3 November to 3 December.
Oh, is that how it works? See, I don't even know how this shit works.
Yeah. It's one big shit show, I tell you. But I mean, that's generally the state of our life right now. It's one big shit show, and the disability month or so-called disability rights and paperworks that have been done, whatever policies, it's all just cloak and daggers, smoke screen kind of vibes. Nothing to do with the actual human being, nothing to do with the empowerment of that human being.
That's what
also nothing to do
I find disgusting as well, because it's like awareness implies that people don't know that this thing exists. It's like COVID Awareness Month. Guys, there's this disease called COVID, and you guys have to prevent it by doing this. That's what you do. HIV Awareness Month, right? Don't think that you're going to get HIV just by hugging someone. So what are you doing at Disability Awareness Month? Are you saying, oh, by the way, there's this little percentage of us humans who are just disabled? I don't know. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Who doesn't know? Like you were saying yesterday, who doesn't know that people with disabilities exist, right? And now you are just reminding people or making them aware of the existence. But you know what? Just for the sake of let us do our part. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know, I am blind and so is Melankolic, and we are disabled. There, you are aware. Now, next. What does that change? Now you know. What now? Right? And
how are they doing it? Because they're blind.
Yeah, oh my God. It's a bunch of blind people talking, and like, fuck that shit.
No, man, that's not necessary, bro. No.
Yeah.
It's so below the belt, man. I mean, how can she do it? She can't. She's got this. Oh, we are that.
Yeah.
That is literally, I mean, that really sums up the day, doesn't it? It's sort of like, that's like kitchen. That's where the cookie crumbled. That's the highest state of your thinking.
The shitty part for me is just this idea, and I guess I'll some even use this concept as a segue, right, to what we're going to talk about today. This idea that people with disabilities can't lead what we may call normal life, right? Like, we are so different that anything that is even biologically expected of us as living humans is so out there for people to think like, oh my God, you're a mom? Bitch, yes, I am a mother. Like, how did you do that? I don't know. I don't know what my eyesight has anything to do with me having sex and having a baby. But just this idea that we are so special that it's amazing that we are doing day-to-day things. It's just so at this point for me that I'm like, I mean, we don't have an option, right? We either die, kill ourselves, right? Like just fucking kill yourself, don't exist, or you just make life happen. You don't have a choice. What else is a person without arms going to do if not learn how to use their feet instead? Like, what do you expect that person to do instead of learning to use their feet? And then now you're going to be so amazed by, oh, wow, look at that. How cool is that?
Yeah.
What else is that person supposed to do?
Yet, mommy, we are being constantly bombarded and we are forced. It is forced down our throats that we have to make life acceptable for people who have adopted a certain behavior. As if that is the human condition. But I'll only stop there. Let's go.
Let's go. Because if you actually want to hear one of these talking tools, okay, go over to www.neonbloom.co.za and you'll find the music and the mind with Melankolic. And you're going to hear Mr. Kenneth. He's going to tell you your mother. You're going to hear from him. He's going to be like, listen, sir, this ain't on. But today we're going to talk about parenting, guys, and why parenting and all of that. I mean, one, we are both parents, and I know for a fact that a lot of people have this amazing curiosity, like, how do you guys do it? And all this bullshit that we are talking about right now, that there's just this weird expectation or this weird fascination with, wow, you are actually a good mom. You're actually a good dad. It's like, people expect us to not do what we are supposed to do as parents, right? So I want to go back to the beginning of this, as we usually do here, with parenting. As a child, what did you think about the whole idea of parenting? Did you want to be a dad? Because also with you, you progressively over time lost your eyesight, right?
Yeah.
So, like,
I was always,
yeah, you're always blind.
I always considered myself blind, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see a little bit.
Yeah, those like, but it's so weird to have like some little bit of sight and you're like, I am blind as fuck. And people are like, yo, but you do things. I'm like, I mean, let's swap eyes for a day and then see if you still think I'm not blind. But what was that idea like for you of parenting as a kid?
I mean, for me, I can say I had it worked out by the 9th grade already. I knew I was gonna have a child around about this age, and this was gonna be my child's name.
Yeah.
So I knew at the back of my mind that okay, maybe if I get a child, then I will. There's a void there, because I think that's when it started to hit me. Or oh shit, you actually don't have your dad, right? So it's still the same problem. If you get into trouble, you get yourself out. There's nobody coming for you. So yeah. So I guess for me, I didn't know what it was like, bro. I didn't know what it would have been like. That picture never came to my mind, really. Because I've got no experience of that in any way, really.
Makes sense.
But for some reason I knew, that I want the child this time around, and yeah, that's it. Unfortunately, though, my life didn't. What can I say? Well, things just didn't go up for me. Which I guess probably at that age I probably would have been married if I or 20. Well, yeah, around about the age 24, 25. Yeah. But yeah.
And also, like, what's cool about it, like how he's saying that you already knew your child's name. Like, what's funny to me about that is so true. Like, I was so, because also I don't know, for some reason you also always thought it would have been a girl, right?
Yes.
You always thought you always wanted it to be a girl. Like literally, guys, from like grade 9, like 9, even before then. I think maybe then it settled in, but you've always said this name as long as I can remember. I've always known you to already know your child's name. And and I remember also the beauty of the story for me, if I may share this detail, is how even throughout the pregnancy, we knew it to be a girl. Like throughout.
But you know what? I was in denial. Let me just come out of the closet.
Yeah? Why you in denial?
I was in denial, bro. I remember when we went for the first sauna.
Yeah.
We went to this place that Naledi's mom said it looked a bit dodgy. But I mean, I found it on the internet. It was Holy Cross, it just happened to be in Sunnyside.
Oh, wow. And they told you guys are having a girl.
So no. So I take her there, and the guy says to us, "You guys are 3 months pregnant, and it's a girl, and it's a boy, and he's gonna be born around probably the 3rd or the 11th of February, around there."
Oh no! Okay.
Yeah. So then I kept on insisting. I took her to some other places, and they told us it was twins, and then they said no, it's a girl. I went back again and said no, it's a girl. And then I was like, okay, yeah, no.
And it was a girl. So the first one told you, like, this is a boy. You're like, this nigga is lying to me.
I don't like these ones. Yeah, I don't like these results. I was here the other ones. You see,
that is so funny. That is so funny. Because I remember I wasn't here for the baby shower, because I wasn't in SA at the time, I think.
Yeah.
But the baby shower, everything was girl oriented. Everything was pink. Yeah. Everything was pink. And when the baby came, it was like, nah, it's a boy. And we're like, what? That's the whole
time. But you know what? Let me be honest with you. I was actually relieved that it was a boy. Hey?
Yeah.
In a very weird way, but I was really, really relieved.
Oh my God.
It was a boy.
That's hilarious. And when the boy came, I'm thinking, okay, now you have to change the name, because Naledi was for the girl, and it's like, that name is staying. It's going to be Naledi, and here we are. That is, to me, just so hilarious, dude. Like
8 years later, and we're here, bro.
And we're here 8 years later, dude.
Yeah.
For me, parenting, the concept was, I think, because, and I think why this conversation will also be cool for us is, as we have only one thing in common, and that is that we are blind. But your upbringing and mine are completely different. Kenneth, you just had your mom. I had both my parents. So my picture was that, like, I was going to go to school, I was going to be a doctor, and I'm going to graduate, and I'm going to, I don't know, marry who. I didn't really have a picture of who I was going to marry, but I was going to be married and have 2 or 3 kids, and all of that. So I had that full picture, but I never understood. I think it's so easy as a child to detach the task of parenting and being a parent. Like, we always fantasize as, I'm going to be a mom, but we don't know what that really kind of means, type of thing. So I'd say that I had that idea for some time, and then the number of kids changed maybe like 2 years after my marriage. Like, after I got married, that's when I was like, okay, no, I'm not making any more kids. But up until that point, I was even happy to have had, if we made another baby after the marriage, I would have been cool with that at that time. But I think 2 years after that, I was like, I can't, this is too much.
But now, here's the thing, Mom. You know why? This is the reason why we can't, as kids, then grasp the notion of parenting. Because this is, and unfortunately, this then becomes the result of a lot of people, a lot of parents. Because if you really look at it as adults, the only reason why the world, or the only reason why we do what we do to children, for instance, it can be bad parenting. It can literally be, go as far as what we see today. It's all because we forget what it was like when we were kids. Because it's, you always get to that, what can I mean? That probably like T junction where you either have to go left or go right in your life. There's always that time when you can choose, okay, I grew up this way. It was kind of fucked up. Do I want to continue that way? Do I want to be like that towards my kids? Or
do I want to
be
change?
different? Yeah, or do I just want to do something else? Do me now? And everybody has that choice. But unfortunately, we become the parents that we basically forget about what it was like for us to be kids. And because of that, then we obviously we move further and further and further and further and further away from the kids. Because look at how little time we spend with our kids. Just generally parents these days. The kind of content they consume. Like it's all because we forgot what it was like growing up. We and the things that we didn't like, we want to continue holding on to those things.
Yeah, I was going to say, because we remember the negative more than what we remember the positive. And I think at some point you're only able to really value the good part, even though you can't straight up say, this my mom did and I was so happy about. But you can easily say, my mom did this and I'll never forget the way I felt about this negative thing. But
yes, the glass is half empty.
Yeah.
Half empty.
It's so much harder to remember. Like I can't. I'm even trying to say, like, to think at the top of my head, is there something I can say my mom did that I thought, this was a good parenting moment, and credit her as a parent, like this was a good parenting moment. I mean, yeah, I got the hugs, I got the kisses and stuff, but is that one thing I can sit down and say that if my mom hadn't taught me this is where my life would be? I can't think of anything, but I can tell you 25 examples of the time my mom has traumatized my heart.
But I can tell you, if my mom didn't teach me how to sing, then I probably wouldn't have been where I am.
That's a perspective, Kenny, because I wasn't thinking of a functional, I wonder if this is a gender difference, but I wasn't thinking of a functional something. I was thinking more of like on the previous episode, for example, I spoke about things trends or concepts that I followed that now are very confusing to me, right? And one of the topics, for example, was the natural hair thing, this whole natural hair movement, this whole idea. And my mom was very pro natural hair, but at that time, back in those years, this wasn't even called natural hair. It's just hair, right? So this idea that you have natural hair, pressed hair, whatever, it wasn't something that I grew up with. And if I'm now to say that, you know what, even though she didn't like voice it and say, this is why it's important for you to cherish what you have, this is why I don't want you to put relaxers in your hair and all of that stuff. If I understood what her messaging was then, I maybe would have had a different direction. But because she couldn't verbally like articulate that and say, hey, don't do this to your hair because 1, 2, and 3, I kind of rebelled against what she was trying to do. And in hindsight now, I know how to take care of my hair because of my mom. If I want to grow it back, I would know how to grow it back. So, yeah. Okay.
You see, so that means if you had a girl child, or since you do have girl children around you,
I know how to take care of their hair.
Yeah, and you can teach them that. And if they decide they want to do their weaves, well, I guess then it's fine. Up until, eventually they get over it. Because, there's a whole lot of stuff around weaves and everything like that. But the parenting now, Mama, we need to talk a lot more to our kids. I'm not talking about opening up, but we need to have real conversations with our kids, and we need to tell them more about how we grew up. Tell them the stories about your life, because that will give them a picture of how to measure themselves. against you. You become, because you're a standard to your child anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
You see, you're a standard to your child in either way, whether you like or whether you don't. And if you can be a good one and they can test themselves against that, they could actually go very, very far. But we don't do that as parents. And particularly as disabled parents, we're not even expected.
We are not expected to show up. Yes. We are not expected to show up. We are not expected to even know what we are doing. As far as people are concerned, like we are winging it. And it's like, yeah, we are winging it, and so are you. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if there's a parent alive that can 100% say to you that I am doing 100% the right thing and I know that what I'm doing is right. No. We are all winging it, but there's just this thing. And this kind of brings me to like I'll just jump to the third point, because my second point was like kind of how did we get here? But I'll just merge them, because there's the part of like the fears now, as there's your fears as a parent, and then I think there's the added layer as now being blind. How does that work? Like, how do you navigate being a blind dad, and not just being a dad?
Regarding what?
Regarding like in your just the fears of parenting, those discomforts of like in those concerns as a parent. Let me actually rephrase it. Does your blindness affect the fears that you have regarding your parenting? Let me not say your ability to, because obviously you're able to, but do you sometimes feel like shit, because I'm blind, I'm falling short here and here and here, and I feel like maybe my son might be lacking in this and this and this, and how can I kind of supplement that?
Yeah, no, obviously, because I guess it's always a fluid situation, because you have to admit there are limitations to you being blind as a human being, right? Just as there are limitations to you being stupid generally as a human being.
Dumbass.
You see, but unfortunately, you can be blind and stupid, right? It's but anyway,
I mean, they're not mutually exclusive, okay?
No. It's like the inner beauty kind of thing. Everybody has it. Yeah, let's go on.
Exactly.
We're all fallible to something. So now you have to, I guess, then try and see how meaningful you can make the time that you have with your child, for instance. You understand? So let's say, fine, I'm blind, but he still has to have the survival skills, or even better survival skills than I do. Once he has that, then we can bring certain things into his upbringing. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Because if you have those fears, they're gonna pile up. It's like paperwork, dude. It piles up, Yeah. Sometimes you'd have to start an assignment from scratch, literally hours before you submit.
Yeah.
It's a pile up, and it never ends. It's basically you're gonna end up being so defeated because you only have two hands for so much paperwork. Oh fuck, I can't drive. I can't do this. Oh man, you wanna go play paintball. Oh fuck, I can't do that.
I can't do that.
No, so that's not necessary. That's really not necessary. You have to be comfortable in your skin and teach your child to also be as comfortable as they possibly can. And then you'll see. Maybe they don't even want to go paintballing. Who knows?
Yeah, and the thing with even stuff like that, it's so true with you need to be comfortable in your own skin. I had an honest conversation with my son about this. Because one thing that I learned was a lot of the time, if not 90% of the time that we have any fear regarding anything, right? Any moment of doubt, of self-doubt, it is self-imposed, right? Because we are comparing ourselves against someone outside of ourselves. We are just looking at something and feeling like, oh shit, I'm inadequate because that person can and I can't. And I've struggled a lot with the fact that I cannot do a lot of things that a lot of other moms can do. I cannot see in a way that I can. When I say adequately clean up after my child, it's more like what? Get something clean enough that somebody who has 100% sight would walk in and say like, oh, this thing is spotless. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, someone always has something to see and then say that, oh, this is not well done. And I get it. It's because you can't see, type of thing. Right. So there's a lot of things that I teach my son more for the sake of he has to learn to take care of himself, because I'm not able to do a lot of the stuff efficiently as other moms can. So
well, first of all, what can other moms do? Let's start there.
Hey.
I mean, I'm not playing the devil's advocate. I can tell you what other moms do. Other moms go, they spend about 13 hours away from their kids on a daily, or 14 hours on a daily. Come back, watch TV the whole fucking time, go to sleep, wake up, and all they do is pay for the kids, ship them off to network cartoons, all those things, right? And on Saturdays, go and drop them off, go and have a party and a fuck, whatever, and then do the same thing again. That's what other moms are doing.
And I guess, yeah. Sorry, I cut you.
So as you are spending at minimum 20 hours with your son, or 22 hours with your son on a daily, okay? That is coupled obviously with the upbringing at home and environment at home.
Yeah,
that is far more. If we were to quantify that, it's far more valuable to a child's life than that.
Than being able, I'll say, to like drive them to, let's go here, let's go there. Let me make you look nice and make sure that there's no stain on your shirt and stuff like that. I think that the discomfort for me comes with what? Dude, there's so much cattiness in the female motherhood clan. Females are just catty, and you're always made to feel inadequate. And for me, it's one of those things where it's like, it has come to a point where, thanks to my son, even, I had this conversation where I'm like, do you sometimes feel like, you are missing out on certain things with me because I can't see? Like, for example, he has hip hop and they have these watch days, for example. And I mean, I can go to a watch day, right? I can go and sit, but I can't see shit, right? Where everyone is like clapping, they can see their kids and stuff. And I'm like, I can't, And so if they are not, and so do you feel like maybe because I'm not talking to you about certain things, like, you did this move nicely and all of that stuff, do you feel like maybe you're missing out? Or maybe when I just don't go, because sometimes I just don't go because I'm just sitting there, and it's, for moral support, I guess. And to him, it's like, no, I don't care about that. I don't care that, you can't see. I don't care to be seen with you. I don't care that you can't drive me around. Like, it's fine. Like, I'm okay with that, And him validating that for me, I had two feelings at that moment. One was like, you dumb fuck. You have to sit down with your child for him to validate you. How insecure must you be for you to straight up ask your kid, are you ashamed of your blind mom?
No, but you know what, Mama, that is exactly what is needed.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we're always talking about, on the Black Man Saga, that we have to, you can only do the best you can. And there's an energy that your child gives you that only your child can give you.
100%.
You understand? Like, the world is so mean to you, bruh. The world is so mean to you. The world is mean to everybody. And in all of that, your child can tell you, don't worry, I got you. Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you're the best. Imagine that.
You know what?
So,
That is, dude, that's why I love talking to you so much. That is a whole other perspective as well that I never considered.
I mean, look at it, bro. Your child, for instance, is a human being who you spend so much time with, so who you invest in so much. You're basically bringing him up one day for you guys to have a adultly relationship.
Yeah.
And as time goes on, sometimes you down and he can say something nice or he can do something nice, and it's the same thing for you. There's nothing broken about that. Nothing at all. There's nothing broke, because someone else would say, yeah, I know, and you must be careful, that you don't keep doing that, otherwise you're gonna create a picture. No.
That you're
that guy
insecure and all of that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
that
the
guy
thing is,
your friend.
he is, and that's the thing also. I think one thing that also, I guess, might even paint this picture for him. Maybe, I don't know. I can't tell what the future will do for him, but I've never had a conversation with my mom to understand what her insecurities were as my mom. What were her challenges? What did she feel maybe that she could have done more that she didn't do more? And yeah, I think even just speaking out loud now, that conversation also with my son, with his reaction, all of that was very nice. It was very validating. It was a weight lifted off my shoulder, one, because now the only person to whom my parenting matters is saying, "You good, mom, like calm down."
Yeah.
And that was like,
and
yeah,
the only person who can validate that, actually.
Yes.
Your husband can't.
No.
Yeah, well, he can.
No, I'm not his mom.
But he's not the son.
Yeah.
You're not his mom.
Yeah.
You see, so yeah. But on the other hand, though, do go to his watch sessions.
Yeah, I do. I will. I just won't lie to you guys. I hate them. They're just so, oh God.
Yeah.
Which is some.
Yeah, and let him teach you. Let him teach you his routine. I mean, you were handsome. Yeah, let him teach you the routine.
No, that's the other side of my son and I's relationship, where he doesn't. It's like, I'm like, Dav, show me the moves. I can't remember them. I'm like, then what the hell are you doing there? I don't know. I remember them. Them like, it's fine. The other day he was like on my case because, mommy, you say you're gonna teach me how to sing. You don't wanna teach me. I'm like, cool. Let's have a nice lesson. Lesson one is like, nah, I don't wanna do this. This is not for me. I'm like, what? But I appreciate his honesty in that, and he is. Yeah, he's just a nice person. He's a really cool kid. He's very nice. He's always like, are you okay? Do you need help? Can I do this for you? And I think the fear with that is always like, are you making your child, are you relying too much on, or am I relying on him too much as he's cited, I'm not. So am I putting on a lot of responsibility on him in terms of like, you have to take care of me or whatever? But also, look, I try to be more like what? When we are walking, when we are outside, you don't have an option here. You just have to help me. Do you understand? Like because what are we going to do otherwise? Do you understand? And I don't know if that's a wrong mindset or whatever, but it's kind of like, this is a team thing again, where at home it's fine. I know my way and all of that stuff, but here, just be mindful. Hey, there's a step, there's this. If you notice something, be aware as well.
No, there's nothing wrong with that, bro. I mean, I walk with my son. He can see a little bit.
Yeah.
And he knows when we walk out there in public, he just has to keep us straight. I'll take us where we need to go.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep us straight type of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that. The thing is, Marie, like David, he's your son, right? So a boy child is always some sort of protection. It doesn't matter whether how many boys you have or whatever, but you do have somebody that you can call when shit really hits your face, and he needs to come through.
Yeah.
So the only way he's gonna know that he needs to come through is if you give him the role that he has to play now. Don't look at it as too much pressure. Oh, because I'm blind. Oh, because he has to do that. He has to know how to take care of a woman. And a woman is a woman, whether she's blind, whether she's a woman. So that's where then, because if he will tell you if this is a bit too much or this is not fair, or I don't know, he will tell you that.
Yeah.
Since you guys can talk about stuff, so I don't think you should beat yourself up over there, bro.
Yeah, man. And I think that it's one of those things where also, like, the whole concept of ignorance is bliss, right? And I think because especially with our generation, we are a little bit more aware of like psychological impacts and how what we do can affect someone and all of that stuff. So you kind of try to be a little bit more aware of what you do and how this might potentially affect your child, and it's not, and I'm not talking about disciplining your kid. I'm not talking about so much interaction, but as I'm talking more like in even your personal choices. If I now choose, I'm not going to homeschool anymore. I'm going to send my son to school and I'm going to start now focusing on my work and all of that stuff. How good of a decision is that for him? How is that going to impact him psychologically, type of thing? And I think because we know at least that little bit more than what our parents knew, I don't think our parents understood parenting to that extent, that what you do has some form of impact on who they're going to be as an adult. You kind of overanalyze a lot of what you do, and that can sometimes be very problematic when you overanalyze.
It can be.
Yeah.
No, it's not even. It can be. It is problematic because it's sort of it's the Rote generation. Way too much, talk way too much on TV, too much pop culture, nothing to do with your child. Tell mama, your son is an asset to you. You are investing in your child. And the reward you want to reap from that investment is that this is a functional human being who's very well disciplined, who does what he says he will do, and who accepts his mistakes whenever he sees them.
Yeah.
He's living his life the best possible way he can. That's all you want. That's the reward that you want.
Yeah.
But if you analyze too many things, even giving your son a tap on the bum becomes a problem. You see, yes, of course, you must give your child, let's say, fair warning.
Yeah, for sure.
Give him fair warning. Yeah, call him out on his behavior, shame him, give him fair warning. If he keeps on doing that, at some point he will have to know that, okay, your second transgression, this is what it means. Your third transgression,
this is what it means. Yeah.
Your first transgression, this is what it means. I don't want to have to slap you. I don't want to have to slap you. Okay? But you have now you've gone over the line. You see?
It's kind of like that. That's painting the picture of the consequences at this point.
Yes, because ultimately, if you look at it, it's a sort of justice system for him.
Yeah. First degree, second degree, third degree.
Because you raise him to be able to give himself time to make a decision on anything, or to make a judgment on anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Yes, because you can trace. No, I did this. Mommy talked to me. I did this. Mommy maybe shouted at me. I'm not used to mommy shouting.
Yeah, so I better watch what I say.
So I'm not gonna have to. If I get warned once, then it's fine. Yes, because my mom doesn't want to have to hit me. Because it's not nice to hit your child.
No, I mean, just the whole just that whole process of disagreement. It's not nice.
You see, so but sometimes you have to. Sometimes that is the only available option to you. Well, the only viable option to you.
Yeah.
So, and that is why, mommy, the other thing that we do as parents, right, is that, or we must actually rather avoid. Don't hit your child when you are angry. Don't do that. Yeah, because they have to know why they are getting a hiding. They mustn't hear Futek,
and then pow.
I'm gonna move you, I'm gonna kill you. No. That's then it's abuse.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like I actually kind of with Miss Unique for Mommies in the Dark, we briefly touched on this, because my sentiment is it really possible for you to not hit your child out of anger? Like, in how do you do that? Because at this point, when you have reached this point, you are upset, you are angry. So how do you reconcile not being angry and spanking your child?
I can.
But I think also what you just said makes sense. Like, in a way, you're not at that yelling point. You're not angry. You're not fervent. You've laid down the ground rules, right? If you do it once, you don't do it. 2, this means you are grounded. If you do it again, then it's like, okay, my boy, you did it again. This means now let's go to the room. You get your spanking. Level-headed. Yeah.
Because he knows he's been warned, right?
Yeah.
So when he does it, the wheels will obviously turn a lot quicker in your mind. You'll think, what must I do? Because I remember with my son, I think I told you about this. I gave him lunch and he didn't finish it. And I asked him if he finished it, and he said yes.
He did.
So it turns out he did it. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, must I be angry? Because obviously it does piss me off. I don't want kids getting used to the fact that they can just throw food away or whatever. Then that is a slippery slope.
Yeah.
They have to be able to tell you and ask you if they can, or whatever, make up some story, right? So now I'm thinking, hey, Marty boy, just and so now I'm thinking, should I just leave him? Should I ground him? Should I just leave him? And then I'm like, nah, I can't leave him.
He lied.
Because he lied, and he's been warned. You see, so if I don't give it to him, then he's never gonna learn. And unfortunately, if this was with any other person, his mom, his whatever, he would have gotten away with it. It would have been not a big. So I had a smoke. I'm getting him ready for school, and I call him, and then I call him when I went back. I'm calm. I'm not angry. I'm not one up. I'm not anything. Because I've already dealt with my emotions. Because it was disappointing.
Yes.
It's like, no, boy, no.
Yeah.
No. And then you have that debate, because it's not nice hitting your kid, right? It's not nice seeing your kid in that crying and
oh yeah, no, nice. It's horrible. It's so painful.
So, but now the thing is, if you do it when you're angry, right? If you do it when you're angry, then you are very susceptible to saying abusive things, or getting into a habit of taking things out on your child. That have got nothing to do with your child. Really.
Yeah.
You are just upset with them for lying about lunch.
Yeah.
They are getting a hiding problem. If they cry, and then they cry because you told them, and they know why they're getting a hiding. You lie. That's it. Story. Let's move on. And then after that, we're good. He's telling me mama is bullying him at school and everything like that. And we talk. And like, I'm scared of you. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You have to be scared of me.
Yeah.
Because if you lie, you're gonna see that scary side. But if you don't,
we can talk through it.
We're gonna be cool.
Yeah, we can talk through it.
If you like something, you don't like something, you let me know.
Yeah. It's the same thing like with my boy as well. I'm like, look, I don't. You could get away with a lot if you just don't lie to me. Just be honest. If I ask you, did you do this? If it's a no, say no. If I yell at you, it's fine. I'll yell at you because it shouldn't have happened, right? And then we move on. But if you now lie to me, now it's a whole other thing. We can't trust each other. Then you're a liar, and I'm not raising a liar. Do you understand? I don't need to have a liar in my space, because now what if I need your help or something and it's urgent and you lie to me? So I'm not going to tolerate lies. We want to deal with the situation at hand. Yes, sometimes what you did was wrong. Even if you're scared, be honest and we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. But it's not nearly as bad as you lying. Because in my head, I'm going around and thinking, I trust my son. My son would never lie to me. And when you lie, it's the biggest disappointment.
I always say to my son, what kind of a man are you going to be? You can't.
Yeah, you can't.
I said, you said to me you want a wife and kids. It's like, yeah. I'm like, so, but no, you're not going to have a wife and kids if you lie.
If you lie.
Nobody wants to be with
if you're a liar. Yeah. Nobody wants that.
No one's gonna work for you or hire you.
No one's gonna be your friend. Like, you're just not gonna be trustworthy.
Yeah, because you're just not nice to be around.
That's also what I told my boy. It's also what I told him. I said, look, you have to think this thing, And I remember he even made a joke the other day. This thing took like 48 hours to get to the punchline, because he's like, Mommy, what is the one thing about me that is what is the one thing about me that is undeniably true? Like, what is the one thing about me that is true, 100% true? And I'm like, I don't know, the fact that you exist. That's a truth, right, about you. You exist. And he keeps asking me this like for so long, and I give him the same answer, and then like 2 days later he's like, okay, Mommy, can I tell you what thing about you is absolutely true? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're very easy to make angry. I'm like, damn it. I got so pissed off, but
you got pissed off.
I got pissed off, and then I just had to contain it. Yes, like that moment, I was like, oh my god, and I just had to like keep it in and go along with the joke. But I'm like, and that is like, yep, that is 100% true. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, you were supposed to cook him his favorite meal that day.
I should have. Because like, wow, I'm easy to get angry. And he's like, yep, it's very easy to get you angry. I'm like, and in my heart, I thought, I'm so happy that he can at least say that, like, there's a lot of parents where it's like, because he's pointing something out that, I mean, I am easy to like, it's true, I guess. But it's them. It's not everybody. Everybody else disagree. Them too agree. So it's them, in my opinion. But I'm glad that he's able.
They agree. Who's anybody from outside?
No, everybody from outside thinks I'm wonderful. That's all that matters.
Moving that along.
Nobody else has that opinion of me except the two of them. So that's all I know. So I reconcile this by determining that these two work on my nerves. But I love them to bits. I think it's just that, we live together.
They're the ones who made you a mom.
Exactly. So they just have to deal with it.
What can we do? But you see how gratifying it is to actually have such people in your life at that stage.
Yeah.
You get to grow, you get to have a second bite at childhood, I guess.
Yes, that is true.
And you get to and you get to relate that with how you probably go about life now.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I mean, if you got a boy child and you're a lady and you are being told men are trash, how does it, you know your child isn't like that.
Yeah, so who
say, hey, women are like this, and you're like, no, but my daughter is not like that.
Yes.
I'm actually raising
a beautiful girl or beautiful boy. Yeah. And even like, I remember the other time we had like a family function or something, and I was asking him for an opinion on my outfit. Like, what should I wear? Should I wear this? Whatever. It's like, wear this and that. And then he goes, just so you know, okay, I don't think you should wear a wig. I think you're fine just the way you are. And I was like, damn it, I was planning on wearing a wig. And now I have to decide whether I wear this wig or do I do the thing that my son literally just complimented me about. It's like, you are beautiful. You don't have to wear a wig. And I was like, how is that men are trash? Because he's validating something natural. The way you are is perfect. You don't need to wear this. You don't need to wear makeup. You don't need to do that. And I think a lot of the time that's where people lose sight of things. And that's why I also take parenting very, very serious. Very seriously, because we are raising adults. These are the future adults. So you cannot play with this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play with this.
If you want your son to end up probably with a worthy woman for your son, you are going to have to be that image.
Yes.
That he's going to know and that he's going to associate with beauty.
Yes. Yeah.
So I mean, it's the same for a girl child, right? If you have the kind of dad or the kind of relationship with your dad that is very positive, extremely positive, reliable, trustworthy, that is probably the kind of man you're gonna end up with, isn't it?
100%. 100%, because you have a clear picture of what works in a way. If I may put it that way, yeah.
Yes. So as a boy, it's the beauty and the kind of the character traits of that woman, and then he brought home a gem. He's brought a gem for you. You see. So, but now, what are we doing? What do you from 1 to 10? Let's say out of 10.
Okay.
Parents that are living with disabilities. How many of them do you think are parenting their children to start off with?
Okay. This is a bit of a tough one for me to answer, mainly because I'm not so much in this is going to sound weird. I'm not in that space. You know what I mean? Like the disability space and all of that. But also, I'm thinking about everybody in my circle, in my immediate circle, because those are the people that I interact with. At least the ones in my immediate, like you and, the other guys directly linked to me. A lot of them are doing all right, but I do recognize that there's a part where I think we try to overcompensate with parenting, and others they're just not doing it because they just don't feel like they should or that they can. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense.
Many people who are parents who are living with disabilities were not supposed to have kids in the first place. That's just to start off with. Not at the time that they had those kids. And from what we see now, clearly even not now. I know this is very hard to say, right? It sounds probably very, very harsh, but since we are talking about people with disabilities, for instance, ma'am, if you cannot put yourself out there in the world to be a functioning human being, you've got no business bringing another human being into this world. And that is why we then have a situation where a lot of kids are being raised by their grandparents, and decisions are made for you and for your child about your child, and you then don't have to parent your child at all. So, which means that we have we have a massive crisis within our community of people who are not showing up.
But is there also not the other side of it, right? Where so like from the side of like with a disability, I think this is an undeniable fact. It's not something to use as an excuse, but we are, I mean, we are practically second-class citizens, right? By the standards of the world. Like in people don't have, the normies don't have any expectations that people with disabilities can do anything besides, oh, shame, poor them, right? And
what expectations do disability people have? You know, are they like universal standard expectations that
kind of like those
people with disabilities have?
Or people look at you, for example, like you, Kenny, you have your son and all of that, and it's like, yeah, but you shouldn't do this, like, you shouldn't do that, you should do it like this, should do it like that. Like in sighted people are more likely to start making decisions about your child and question you about your child or your parenting skills because they feel that you are incapable of doing this thing.
Yeah. So, but now the thing is, I get you what you say, but I'm just playing the devil's advocate. Just indulge me for a bit.
Hey, I was a devil's advocate, but go on.
Are you? Because obviously, Sharp. Let's say the normies, as you coin them.
Yeah.
They don't expect you to show up in any way as a person living with
period. Yeah.
That is the universal accepted expectation or lack thereof, whatever it is. Now, what is the expectation that people living with disabilities have?
So that layer.
What is the universal expectation, if they have any at all, that people living with their disability have about themselves or about the world? I don't know.
I think the expectation generally now is more, and this is what I try to battle with, even like, with the, well, what I'll say that I'm trying to, the mindset I'm trying to shape is we need to get out of this the world owes us mentality, because they don't. They are the majority. Do you understand? Majority rules. So people who don't even think about you or consider you, they don't owe you anything, right? At some point, you have to take responsibility for yourself. At some point, you just have to see things for what they are and make a plan. For example, the lady that doesn't have arms, she just had to be like, fuck it, I have to use my feet. She's not sitting there and saying, can they make me fake arms? Can they maybe give me a sponsorship for prosthetic arms, or can the government provide for me this? No, she said, then she's like, fuck it, I don't have arms, I have feet, I have to make do with what I have. And we kind of need to get to that mindset, right? Like, and we don't have what we don't have. It's gone. So what do you have, and make it work with what you have. So we fail at the point where we don't have high expectations. And so much so that there's this habit that we have of sitting in a circle and being like, the world sucks and the world doesn't recognize us, and it's not nice, and it is what it is. And we encourage each other to think that way. And that's where my gripe is with us.
Well, Joe, I mean, for me, I just have one governing principle as far as my life is concerned, and it's fuck the world. I mean, Joe, if you have a decision to make, do you want to live, or do you want to be, do you just want to be just nje? Do you want to give it your best shot, or do you rather not try? It's that. So now the thing is, since we know that we are not being recognized, I don't know who the fuck must recognize you anyway. But anyway, since we are not recognized, and we are not this and we are not that, that tells you that there's a niche in the world for a class.
Yeah.
You know, you get your lower class, you get your middle class, you get your upper class, and then you get that particular class. Now, the only thing is that class must see themselves for who and what they really are, and see the world for what it really is. Because it is amazing to go through your whole life with your eyes closed, to do everything, cross highways, take yourself to where you need to go, cook a beautiful looking, tasty meal, with your eyes closed. Yeah, it's amazing. Of course it is, bro.
Yeah.
So then that means we have to then what? Probably flip a switch to the glass is half full.
Yes.
Let's say for you.
Yeah. Kenny had load shedding, and I think, I don't think he's gonna come back on the call. But we will continue this conversation, guys, myself and Kenny. There's a lot that we still do want to unpack around these topics, especially with regards to disabilities and so forth. So I hope you guys enjoyed at least this first half of this conversation. We're going to continue this conversation, and also we're going to do some for his show, Music and the Mind. I hope that you will please join our WhatsApp group so that you can also just be up to date with everything that we are doing with the events and everything that we are planning, because we are going to do more events. So I don't know what to say, guys, other than thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to share this episode with whoever you might think will find this interesting. Subscribe, go to YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, everywhere that you listen to your podcast, and we'll be right there, as well as www.neonbloom.co.za. And you guys can check out all the other podcasts like Black Woman Business, Mommies in the Dark, The Untanglement, and Music and the Mind, and of course this one, Grow Up. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in, and remember to always lead with kindness, because you already have a lot of fucked up people in the world. We don't need another piece of shit to make things more difficult. All right, so be good. I love you. Bye.